Hey, welcome back to Inside the Mind Shift. I'm your host, A.G. McCallum. In the last episode, we stepped into the walls of Marley's world and explored how perception twists, how shadows sharpen, and how the mind becomes its own trap. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the force that drives all of it, fear and the mental state. Fear can protect us, fear can betray us, fear shapes every horror and thriller story ever told, including the ones we live. So in this episode, we are going to be talking about psychology of fear in real life and inside Andy and Marley's world in my book, The Stranger Inside the Walls. What is fear? Fear is the brain's oldest survival system, designed to act before you can logically think. In real life, this shows up in the moments like jumping at a sudden noise, freezing when you sense someone behind you, or feeling your heartbeat spike before you know why. So in my book, The Stranger Inside the Walls, Marley is one of the characters, and her fear begins as instinct, a subtle shift in her perception of the new house. She always feels like something is off before she can explain it. For Andy, her husband, the other character in the book, fear shows up differently. His instinct is to be peaceful and empathetic towards Marley, while trying to rationalize the situations that occur in and out of the home. The next one we're going to be moving on to is how fear distorts reality. Fear doesn't just warn us, it rewires how we interpret the world. In real life, this looks like mistaking a shadow for a person, hearing your name in white noise, or feeling watched when you're alone. The brain fills in the blanks with danger signals. For Marley, her fear begins to twist her perception of the house. A creak becomes intentional, a shadow becomes a presence, silence becomes threatening. Her mind starts building a narrative of danger, and her mind can no longer distinguish from real or imagination. For Andy, he sees Marley's mental state as days go by and as it shatters. His reality stays grounded, which makes her feel isolated and makes him suspicious of things Marley says and does. Fear in psychological thrillers. Psychological thrillers rely on fear's ability to twist reality. In real life, the mirror moments when you replay a conversation because something felt wrong or off, or when you sense someone's mood shifting before they even speak. Fear becomes a lens that changes everything around you. For Marley, her fear mentality spin becomes sometimes the engine of the story. It drives her decisions, her doubts, and her growing mistrust of the environment around her. For Andy, his calmness becomes an anchor for Marley. His lack of fear makes Marley question her thoughts and feelings. In psychological thrillers, the character who doesn't react is often the one the audience watches most closely. But in this story, there is a major plot twist. The next one we're moving on to is Fear and Marley's story. In The Stranger Inside the Walls, Marley's fear transforms her home into a psychological maze. Real-life parallels include moving into a new house and not knowing its sounds, waking up unsure if a noise came from inside or outside, or even feeling unsettled when someone's habits don't match your expectations. For Marley, her fear becomes a weapon against her. Every sound, shadow, and silence really feels intentional. Her perception becomes her prison. Her mind becomes the trap. For Andy, her fear changes how she sees him, his routines, his tone, his presence. Fear makes her question whether he's protecting her or working against her. This concludes episode 3 of Inside the Mind Shift. Thank you for stepping deeper into this episode with me. Next episode, we'll explore my next book, Mind Shift. This is A.G. McCallum, and you've been listening to Inside the Mind Shift. Remember, the mind hides more than it reveals.